Ladies and gentlemen, it's Callum and Ewan from GameEngineStart.com, and it is E3 2018.
Oh,
Ewan's dying because
it's day one.
Yeah.
We've already fucking broken.
Ewan's out of it.
I wonder why that would be.
Yeah, don't spoil the magic for
The magic,
people
the
home.
behind the scenes. Yeah.
EA was the first to go
Yeah. So like,
on Saturday again.
E3 is like 100 days long now.
Yeah.
So we're starting on Saturday. 2 tomorrow, 3 on Monday.
Yep.
And then
Nintendo on Tuesday,
Nintendo on
but
Tuesday.
we won't do anything with that.
So yeah, it feels like it's going on forever. But it's the EA as a warm up today.
Yeah,
And
it's the kind of like it's good to ease into it because we kind of knew what we were getting going in. So it's just like a very much a okay, all right.
It felt
like,
very much like a kind of E3 warm up show where it was like you say, like, there wasn't a lot of new things there. It was very much like, here's some more information on the things you probably already know about.
Yeah,
Which I thought was...
it's like going to see a live gig from a band that's got one album when you're like, oh yeah, I know that song, and then they play the hit at the end, and you're like, oh great, and then that's
or there's like and then there's also the little one that you're like, oh, that's new.
yeah,
but
like something from an EP or whatever.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't really like that one, and like, why are you playing a mobile game on stage? It's weird.
Why did you do that?
Free to play songs? What? Yeah. So like it felt very kind of stilted to start with because they started with Battlefield 5.
Yeah,
They're kind of out the gate.
Yeah,
With not a lot of real information there, and the whole thing seemed to be, you should totally watch the Xbox conference tomorrow because there'll be some.
They said there's going to be something at the Xbox conference.
Single player.
But the thing that matters is they said Battle Royale.
They said,
that's all that matters.
So we are playing, as a behind the scenes, we are playing a drinking game this year where anytime somebody mentions the words Battle Royale or loot boxes, we're taking a drink.
No, it's specifically no loot boxes. Whenever they call it the fact that they aren't using loot boxes, is
one
a
of
drink.
those two things.
And whenever they're doing a Battle Royale mode.
And this one had a double whammy, like within the first 10 minutes of just.
They said no loot boxes.
No
everything.
loot
It's all
boxes.
cosmetic. Blah blah all that stuff. And
I said,
and we know we've listened and we're doing the thing that you always said that you want.
Yeah.
Battle Royale.
So I said on the podcast after the Call of Duty reveal that they didn't show anything of that game.
Yeah.
They did a lot of like, here's what we're aiming for, and like, here's like, it's gonna have all your old favorite maps and vehicles and weapons.
Trust us, we're doing it.
Trust us, we're doing it. This was even less. Like, they didn't even put like a separate screen up on the thing. It was like, it was the Battlefield 5 logo. They said, we're doing Battle Royale and we're doing it like Battlefield.
Yeah.
And that's all we have.
That's all we have, yeah.
So, and they said post-launch.
It's because, again, like we said at the show, a lot of these like Battle Royale modes are going to come out that are very reactionary, probably, of like, oh, we should probably do this.
Yeah.
And then
it's kind
pivot into it.
It's interesting to watch them pivot from like, obviously this thing has come up really quick.
Yeah.
And become
Kids love that Fortnite.
Kids love Fortnite.
Yeah.
So they need to be able to take the game that they're working on that is kind of almost done at this point, and then go like, what is the easiest way we can slam Royale into this? And
but then when you get on stage, you're like, we're doing it our way, honestly. Like,
and it was weird from the Call of Duty perspective because Call of Duty is like 16 player, multiplayer, very close, very fast action. Battlefield has always been a bit larger scale, like
it's bigger maps, vehicles.
Like you go back to like
squads.
Battlefield, you go back to Battlefield 2 and 2142 and all that kind of stuff. Like they were 120.
The ones that we played and remember.
They were like 128 player.
They're huge,
games.
Massive games.
So like they're closer already, and they have vehicles. They have all of the stuff there. So like a battle royale in what is essentially the Frostbite engine could be really cool if they can do something with it and not like EA the shit out of it.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
So
the other thing is that they talked about that, and they talked about how the sentence that they stressed was that it's like their interpretation of World War II.
Their interpretation of World War II, which one is cool because it's like it lets them do their own style and their own. It's not like going to be this like this kind of grim dark retelling of World War II that we've seen a billion times. But also it was like a kind of like,
I'm sick of Nomad.
Stop. And also like stop fucking saying that you're ruining the spirit of World War II. Like, come on, it's our version of World War II.
This is Our Lady has a hook hand. It's our story.
It's our World War II. Like, I'm glad they're doing that, or I'm glad they're at least owning every part of this thing and being like, yes, this is our plan. So they talked. So the thing that they're going to show the Xbox presentation tomorrow is their single player. Which is the structure they seem to be using is like the untold stories of World War II, which appear to be a mix of like real things that happened and things that we never heard about.
Their interpretation of
their interpretations of those things. It was weird though, like very quickly after they said like their interpretation of World War II, they then talked about some of these own untold stories having real people in it.
Yeah.
Which is a weird mix of like, yeah, it depends what the stories are.
It doesn't mean that's a real person, and it doesn't mean you can't interpret it in a different way.
True, but it depends what if their interpretation is like balls to the wall crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think they will either. But you know, it's an interesting one. So that battle royale thing they said is going to be post launch. It's not, so that they very clearly were like, this is not coming out in November when this game comes out. But
you may get a lot of that this weekend. We're doing this, but not right now.
Not right now. Yeah. So there's that, and then they had their weird moment of like kind of services, which again a lot of companies are probably going to be doing with their kind of two-pronged services thing of Origin Access Premier, which is a terrible name.
That's a bad name.
That is 3 names smooshed into one name.
It's exactly like what I said at the time, which is like it's a service where you pay money, and we're now providing a service for you to pay more money. Is that what that is? Or
so they were
because Access is their pay monthly service, right?
It's their early access. Yes, so it's their pay monthly to get early access.
I know you've got a premium version of the pay monthly service.
Hence Origin Access Premier.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether it was like, because we were kind of taking the piss while we were watching this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that presentation was as bad as I thought it was, but I was very unclear what that was, and we're kind of interpreting what they showed.
The way that it looked to be, it was sort of like what Microsoft are doing with the Xbox thing,
the Game Pass.
The Game Pass, where they're going, pay us and you'll get these games on launch, and so they're talking about Battlefield and all that.
Yeah, so the reason why it twigged weird for me is because they said like the things included in this include Battlefield 5 and Anthem.
Yeah,
and you're like, they're just giving this away as part of their monthly subscription thing.
They could, but
it's PC only.
Yes,
and
you could pay out the arse for it.
So like in my head, that is them saying their PC market is not as big. That's not their focus. That's not their big money maker. So the easy way for them to get more of a market on PC is to say like, give us $15.99 a month.
You have all these games.
Right?
Yeah.
But it will be interesting as a way for people to try out Anthem.
Yeah.
And maybe not just invest completely.
Yeah, that's true.
So you said, one subscription, all new PC games that are coming down. And Madden is also coming out for the PC in first time in however long. Yeah. And those 4 guys in the crowd were super pumped about that. Yeah.
There were a couple of people that were very excited about the idea of playing Madden on a PC.
I'm sure Madden on PC looks real nice.
Probably, yeah.
But
you see that ball in real high res.
Yeah, you can see individual flecks of pigskin.
Does that mean we can get modded Madden? That would be pretty good.
Modded Madden would be great. I mean, that's essentially what that SB Nation series does, right? Breaking Madden. That would be pretty good. But like, imagine that with like, if you can crank everyone's stats up to 200.
No, I want to just replace the ball with Macho Man Matty Savage or something like that.
That's a given. Like that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen immediately.
5 seconds of that thing being out, there's a Madden 18 nude mod.
Every time you, God.
every player stands massive dongs.
Every time you do your run up for the first kick, it starts playing the John Cena theme, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that'd be good. No, I want the bring back the thing from Backbreaker where it played Here Comes the Boom every time you do an offensive play. Because that shit was the best. I swear to God, I want enough money to buy a football team so that I can make that a rule in my home stadium. Every time the home team makes an offensive play, I'm going to play that one bit from Here Comes the Boom. And just...
It didn't stop getting funny.
No, it was always good.
It was great. So the other thing they said, I didn't catch the name of what they're calling it or what the name of the service is, but basically they're doing cloud streaming.
Yeah.
So they had the kind of promotional video they had was
I don't think they gave it a name, they just talked about how they want to do.
Yeah. So they had people with actual controllers plugged into phones.
And weird flip-up screens.
And running on every
They
device.
want games everywhere. And
yeah. And... So I get it's a weird one, right? Because it's
2018. This was a thing that was talked about 2016 times.
And it's weird that this is one of those things that you really seem to get 2 pictures depending on where you are in the world, right? Where if you talk about everyone in the US who tried PlayStation Now when it came out, everyone was like, "This is kind of works, but it's kind of unusable, and nobody's ever going to play that." I spent a lot of time with with PlayStation Now when it came out. And I got to points where it was basically indistinguishable from me actually playing. Like the things I was playing, like fighting games and stuff, and I was playing like I think I played NBA for a while. Like apart from artifacting that happened every now and then, like it was the response time was good. So the idea of like EA doing this is interesting. It is interesting they're not going through PlayStation, because of course
they're doing their own.
They're doing their own entire infrastructure, which is like, where are they getting this infrastructure from?
Yeah,
who's like, if I was willing to bet money, it's probably all coming from Microsoft, which is really interesting, because they are the people that have this infrastructure ready to go. I want to know more about that, and I want to try.
Strange decision, but yeah, it could be interesting.
They said it's super early. They're doing demos at the thing of this, I've never understood why they do this, because they did this with PlayStation Now as well. They're like, we have demos of this thing running on the floor, and I'm like, that is the most controlled environment you could possibly do.
Look,
like,
it's pulling from the cloud.
Yeah, like the cloud cloud's there. Like that's the machine running the cloud, and all we're doing is wirelessly transmitting this video to, like, that's not real.
That's not going to be how it works.
Yeah. And then we got more Star Wars than I expected.
You say that.
I expected
there were two very small things about Star Wars.
And that's more than I expected.
Well, maybe three, but...
And I expected the entire content of their Star Wars thing to be like...
Yeah.
Over there.
I thought that the Star Wars thing was going to start and end with Vince Zampella from Respawn saying, we're doing a thing, and here's the name of it, and that was about it. So they were not going to touch Battlefront, but...
So they did that. Zampella was there, and he was interviewed and said, like, so
he was enjoying himself.
He was chill.
He was in the zone.
He was in some form of zone.
Yeah.
And he was interviewed and said, like, hey, what can you tell us about the like, it's weird saying, like, he was interviewed, like, this is all scripted.
Yeah, totally.
But, like,
it
wasn't an on-stage thing, like, he was in the crowd.
Andrea, who was hosting it, who did a great job, was doing the whole, look, I'm here in the crowd, and look, it's Vince Zampella.
As if we just
like, what?
But they said to him, like...
It'd be really good if they caught him, like, coming out the bathroom or something like, Vince!
I don't have anything to say, like, what are you talking about?
Star Wars? What?
We're not making a game. But yeah, they said a name, they said Jedi, so... It's weird, they never showed the name written down, but they said it is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I don't know where...
I assume it would be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Or is it Jedi Fallen Order?
Or whatever, yeah. Like, I don't know if... No, because that then implies that Star Wars Jedi is a series, and Fallen Order...
Maybe this is their series,
maybe.
Right? Holiday 2019, set between
3 and 4. Yeah, so it's set during the time in which Vader and the Emperor are going and trying to kill all the Jedi.
And lightsabers were confirmed
Of course, lightsabers are confirmed. It's like that bit at the start of Force Unleashed where you're Darth Vader walking through Kashyyyk, just like force pushing Wookiees over bridges and stuff, going to kill Jedi. It'll just be a game, hopefully, of that. That would be cool.
Totally, yeah.
I don't know if that, but it seems like if they're calling it Jedi Fallen Order, you're doing it from the perspective of the Jedi of going, oh no, we're all dying, we need to keep running it, instead of being the Sith going like, fuck you, kill everybody. And,
I mean, maybe you get both. Maybe
I would be cool with that. That would be interesting. It's a cool time in the galaxy.
Sure.
So it would be an interesting game to play.
But there was zero details.
Zero other thing, yeah.
Holiday 2019, that was it. And then Battlefront, they talked...
A guy came out and, in the nicest possible way, fell on his sword and went, we realised that we fucked up and rolled all this back. And
like, that's basically the words they used as well. Like, we messed the start of this up pretty badly.
They said that they wanted to start with a sprint, but they definitely didn't. And they realised that they didn't do it quite right.
While he was talking, there was a big picture of, like, the star cards, like, in the background,
fading,
like, as if that's the thing that this is a picture that they've just been slapped with for like a year now.
Yeah, we know.
Or 6 months. We messed this, we're sorry. So they talked about Ewok Hunt, which was a thing from old Battlefront games.
Apparently, yeah, I can't remember.
Their new character, they talked about Geonosis, which is a planet.
Yeah, so you remember you probably don't, but remember in episode 2 when the big, like, 40-minute fight scene happens on the Red Planet between, like, the huge droid army and the huge Jedi?
Yes.
That's Geonosis.
Okay, sure. And they said it was, like, their biggest map they've ever done.
Yep.
General Grievous.
Wait, is that Geonosis? Yeah, that is Geonosis.
You're the one that's...
I'm pretty sure...
You'll tell me.
Is that Geonosis? Shit, I need to look this up.
And then General Grievous, Count Dooku, new characters and all this kind of stuff.
I almost pointed out, I almost freaked out because the guy almost made a lore mistake, but he corrected himself because they were like, because Grievous, he said that Grievous was the most powerful droid, and I was about to be like, he's not a droid, but he corrected himself. He's the general of the droids.
General of the droids. Yeah, like, I'm surprised they mentioned it, and I'm even more surprised they're going to try and continue going with it. But the important thing that I think to mention there is that they appear to have sidelined the original plans for you're not going to pay anything for map packs and expansions because we're going to fund all this stuff through the star cards. And now that they're binning all that stuff, none of that stuff they said we are giving for free.
Yeah, I was right.
You were right?
Yeah.
Good. None of that stuff we're giving away for free, so you're going to have to... These will be probably paid things.
Yeah, probably paid map packs and
stuff. Because they can't funnel any more money into this thing.
So. Unless they... EA as a total have just kind of went, look, this is completely burned, just give people stuff.
Maybe. Like, I would have thought if like they were so like on their knees at this point, like they would have said that all of this is coming for free.
Yeah. That's true. They would have said that if they wanted to. Yeah.
Or maybe the plan is not finalized yet.
Maybe. I don't know.
Then some other EA original stuff. So Unravel 2, TWO. Out now, as it turns out. So this is the sequel to Unravel from 4 years ago.
A while ago, yeah.
It was a while ago. So that was a EA original with Yarny, the little yarn guy.
Little red yarn dude.
He now has a little friend, and they share
so
the yarn.
The guy that gave the thing is the same guy that was very nervous man who gave the Unraveled 1 thing. Seemed a lot more confident, seemed a lot more happy, which is great. Mm-hmm. But he did a lot of the... So Unraveled 1 was a game about love, and in the next game we took all that away.
Yeah.
It literally shows you severing the connection.
The intro shows Yarny's thread being cut.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay.
But he's got a buddy, and they form a thread together, and they're all happy and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get the real like Fable 2 brothers vibe off of it, where
you think
they're giving him a cool, adorable pal. Look at this. Shoot him in the face.
You think they're just gonna kill him?
Dead.
Yeah.
Like they probably won't, because that game seems a lot more about like togetherness and bonding and all that stuff. But it's just, I think I've gotten to the point in video games where I'm so cynical that I just never expect nice things to happen.
Totally. Like, we've played so many things where they just go, we're just gonna kill everything you
fuck
love.
This guy.
Yeah. But so it seems co-op focused.
Yep.
Really appreciated for this and the next one we're going to talk about the honesty in presentation, almost to a fault, where that demo started and a debug menu came
that guy
right
put
up
a debug menu.
Which
was, to be honest, I'd actually be okay with that more.
Totally.
If people just went, no, look, we're working on this.
Like, more people need to know that these things are entirely broken when they go to E3. Like, this thing is entirely...
But then, I've just thought of this. So that guy had a debug menu on stage, but that game's supposed to be out today.
I bet you it was an old build.
I'm sure,
that they had to prepare.
It's still like the...
I bet you a debug menu is still there.
No, yeah, you're right. Most things still have a debug menu.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it looks like he loaded the wrong level.
Yeah.
And then went,
whoops,
shit.
Fix that.
I find that endearing more than anything else.
Yeah, it looks like your thread can like extend and hook round stuff and swing. And
and you have to work, and you can play the whole thing solo, and you just switch between characters.
It's fucking adorable.
And it seems like they're doing the smart thing where, when you're doing platforming stuff, your two characters kind of merge into one.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing the puzzle stuff, they split out, and you can control them individually and all that kind of stuff. Seems cool.
Yep.
And then the new game, the new EA original Sea of Solitude.
Did you get it, Ian?
SOS.
Did you get it?
It was a good joke.
Yeah.
This was another like super endearing presenter.
Very endearing. That woman was incredibly honest.
She came. It's a team from.
She came out and said like, "This is a shock. I'm genuinely excited to be here." And
she seemed genuinely
excited,
there, which is always good to see.
Which is good.
And this is a team from Berlin, Joe May Games. I think I wrote down here. Early 2019 game, but it's got a really cool look. It kind of reminded me of.
Journey.
That's a really easy thing to say, but there's specifically a game from last year that was about somebody in a boat in like a flooded city.
Oh, Yes.
There was that.
I know what
that
you mean.
game was.
Yeah.
So it seems kind of along that kind of line. Well, kind of visually, kind of looked like that, but much more kind of painterly, and some really cool character design.
She spent a long time talking about how like loneliness drives people to being monsters, and
loneliness turns
everybody
people
should
into
try
monsters.
and drive towards balance. And
Yeah.
the game seems to be about this woman whose loneliness has actually manifested as a monster.
And she has to deal with it. And like
Seems it's cool.
Really
looks
pretty.
like real indie game. Like it's big ideas, cool look.
Yeah,
interesting.
very much of that style. But I mean, EA Originals. I'm glad to see that EA are still doing this, even if they're not as frequent as they used to be. But they're still like putting some money into these unknown studios.
Yeah.
And then Command and Conquer Rivals happened theoretically.
Yeah.
So this is a
mobile game.
Yep. Did they say the words free to play? Like
no.
Okay.
Well, they might have, but I don't know. I think everybody just assumes that all mobile games are free to play at this point.
Yeah, it looked so. And they had two shoutcasters on.
Yep.
Shoutcasting a match.
Yep.
For a game that nobody's heard before or understands how it works.
Yeah.
And then they had these two people saying how great the move that he made was on this. And I hated it. I hated that presentation.
It was not well handled.
Such a bad way of doing it.
But
in terms of gameplay, it looks kind of like a very like single screen hex based.
It's kind of like Clash Royale, except a bit more tactical.
I have never played that game.
Well, Clash Royale is like up and down, but instead of side to side. But
right.
It is still. It looked a lot like that, except with tactics in it, because you can like move your units around and position them.
Right.
Where you can't do that in Clash Royale.
Okay, fair enough.
But could be cool.
Yeah, totally. It's in early access.
I like that someone is still using the Command and Conquer name.
Yeah, totally.
And Kane's in it, which is cool.
So it's theoretically, according to their thing, it's out in early access on Android.
I'll check
now.
I'm pre-registered.
You pre-registered?
Yeah. So if it is out, then I will get a message. It's not out yet.
Okay. And iOS is coming later, which is interesting. That never happens. Actually,
yeah, it's true. Wonder if they have a problem with Apple.
Actually, probably it's Google have moved into this kind of early access stuff.
Pre-reg.
There was a game I picked up something on my phone during the week that was marked as early access, like early
actually said early access.
Like this game is not finished. Like buyer beware. I can't remember what it was. So they have all that architecture there. So
okay, that
makes
makes
sense that they're going to do that. And then they did a whole chunk of stuff on Anthem, but not really.
No, it was all very superficial.
Yeah,
they basically said that. Yep, there's a story, and
so like to set up the structure of what they presented was they did like a kind of CG trailer thing.
Yeah,
and then came back where Ariane brought on like Casey Hudson and like some writers, one of the writers and one of the producers.
Yeah.
Brought them all on stage and started asking them questions, none of which were
totally real human questions that have been written
and
asked on Twitter.
That's a separate thing. But none of the questions were particularly like, we're learning more information about this than we would from like a dev reel trailer.
Yeah,
it was very structured,
superficial, and
very superficial stuff. There was a lot of questions about like, or they answered a lot of this stuff. Like, this is a BioWare game, right? Like, there's a story.
They said, "Yep, there's a story."
Like, are you going to be able to bone people in this game? Probably not.
Yeah.
Actually, apparently, according to just before we came on it, before we started recording, according to Game Informer, no boning.
No boning.
So it's not really a BioWare game.
I mean, yeah. The BioWare stuff that I care about is that there's just a good story with people that I like that I can talk to. But
yeah, so the interesting mechanical stuff about the game that we don't know. So like it basically it looks like Destiny, right? Like that's kind of what we've all agreed on that it looks like.
It's Destiny, but with instanced hub worlds.
Right. So the interesting thing from most of these type of games is that they seem to be instancing the hubs rather than the world.
Yeah.
And the reason why their explanation for instancing the hubs is because the hubs is where you're going to get your BioWare fix.
Yeah,
that's
your
where
story,
your stories,
your characters,
your conversations, your interactions with
your
characters.
Renegade push people out of windows.
Yeah, like how many news reporters am I going to be able to punch in the face? Yeah. Like that kind of stuff. And then the actual outside world, that's where you're going to have other people in javelins flying around theoretically and doing
flying
all that
in your
stuff.
face and
they talked about
thrusting.
They talked about how they're really focusing on like when they say like a shared world, they mean like it's going to be nighttime for everyone at the same time, and dawn's going to break
perpetual
at the same
world
time for everyone.
Which means that they then probably have to do like shards of... It's the same world but different servers, because you're going to have a lot of people, and having that many people on one thing is...
There was a really... One of the things I did pick up on, there was a really interesting crossover between like narrative and game design, where obviously like if they're going for a Destiny style game, they need to do a billion times better the live stuff better than Destiny did.
Yeah.
And at a narrative level in the game, I'm still not entirely clear what the story was, but basically like...
And it's because they didn't show
a lot of it. But the bit I did get was they're talking about like there's a fight between the gods and nature.
There's a fight. The gods have left.
There's
now a fight over the things that the gods have left behind.
Right.
And there is this thing called the Anthem,
which they said like changes the world in really random ways, which seems like them at a very low narrative level saying this whole world is going to be fucking upended at points.
Well, yeah, you need in a game like that, you need a kind of grand thing so that you can relay expansions through it. To be like, oh, the Anthem has shifted and now the mountains have parted.
Right.
Look at this new snow area.
If they can really start nailing like the WoW Cataclysm stuff.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine logging on one day and like the city's gone.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Like, there's a smoking crater where the city used to be. Like, that kind of stuff. And it feels like they've built... And again, like, Destiny says stuff very similar.
Yeah.
But hopefully they've learned the fact that, like, they need to build their game in a way that lets you do that.
Yeah.
With a tool set that lets you do that.
As opposed to waiting for a year and a half.
As opposed to the technical issues that Destiny had, which is why they couldn't do anything with that game. And, yeah, so the thing you're saying about the Twitter messages. Yeah,
they did a bit with they were saying, and Casey Hudson went to Twitter and asked you to ask their questions, and they picked air quotations 3 questions, but they were all from people who had blacked out faces, and they were all very much worked up, kind of like this was typed by a PR person, as opposed to the random screams on Twitter that you would have got of like,
to be fair,
dude, can you bone in this game? What did you do to Mass Effect?
Yeah, exactly.
Does this game cost monthly? Like, where's Skate 4? All that
Skate
stuff.
4. They had to filter out all the Skate 4 tweets before they got those ones.
Did you see that the thing after it, where it was the crazy people playing FIFA? It was just chat rooms filled with people saying Skate 4.
I saw it like twice past in the chat feed. Somebody was asking if there was going to be any new Lego games. Which is such a fundamental misunderstanding of most things.
EA must make the Lego games, right? Let's ask them about that. Seems like Casey Hudson, where's our BioWare Lego game?
Oh, can you imagine a BioWare Lego game?
BioWare Mass Effect would actually be kind of cool.
Lego Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because then you just you punch that dude out that window.
No, you don't even need to do that. You just punch him and he just goes into bits.
No, but you punch him out the window and then he falls into bits. Like,
I would do it so long
you slap that reporter and her head entirely comes off.
I would do it so long as they went back to the parts where Lego didn't talk and they had to like animate everything. That was way better.
Lego Elcars. I want a Lego Elcar.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're just making ourselves sad.
I know.
Yeah. So these were very PR'd questions, but they were very much like.
Can you tell us about the customization of my robot, please?
Yes, like, how do I customize my robot?
My human emotions are very invested into the shape of my robot and what colour it is. Look at the shiny helmet that my robot has. That makes me happy in my human heart. I'm a human being, honest.
The second question was like, loot boxes? Yes, no?
Yeah.
So they said like...
No loot boxes.
They said cosmetics for purchase.
Yeah.
You'll be able to purchase the thing you want.
Yeah.
It's not loot boxes.
They said you'll know what you buy going in, so not loot boxes.
Which, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I'm okay with that.
It's the way to do it. I don't mind cosmetic purchases. That's fine.
Not at all. If I can make a robot look really cool, I'll make a robot.
You are the kind of person that likes to make cool looking robots.
It does feel like every now and then they make games where they just like, we're going to get as much money out of you as humanly possible.
Hey, look, we gave you these cool robot exosuits and you can paint them.
How about we give you a paint scheme that looks just like an Evangelion robot? Yeah. Oh well.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Wouldn't that be great? And that was kind of it.
Yep.
They wrapped it.
It was a very to the point press conference.
And even
here are the things that you know that we're doing.
But we've talked on like the podcast on the run up to this, like how so much stuff this year has like leaked or they've announced it early or all that stuff. Battlefield was
Sony has done their entire playbook. They've just gone, here's everything.
So EA like announced or did their Battlefield reveal thing. And that was it. Like the rest of the stuff we knew was coming.
Yeah.
And nothing really leaked. So this was their plan.
Yeah. This was it.
Which is real interesting. And like currently they're doing like a FIFA tournament.
Yeah, on stream.
On stream, which was embarrassing to watch.
Great. I love it.
Like, if you like FIFA, play your FIFA. Like, I'm not judging you at all for playing FIFA. The way they are presenting this esports FIFA league
that's great.
Is
that's terrible. That's the one. I know we don't talk about sports on this, but that one bit where they were talking about Madden, they brought out the champion guy.
Oh, fuck it, why did we not talk about that?
Little Zev or whatever his name is.
So they were doing Madden and they did a whole...
It's just not little, what the fuck is it?
They did a whole VT about, here's the dude who won the Madden 18 championship. Yeah. And he looks exactly like the dude you would expect that won the Madden 18 championship. And then there was this terrible moment where he came out on stage with his championship belt, which
a championship belt for a Madden
game. He came out on stage with somebody from the Steelers.
Yep.
And the person from the Steelers that interviewed this esportist about his virtual football, considering the other guy is an actual footballsman who plays football.
Yeah, actually is a football player.
Asking him like, so where did you get started? Like, what is this thing? Like,
what about that interesting story where you had to skip your graduation and play in a tournament, and the guy's just like, I
skipped graduation, won the tournament, and won $500,000 at the tournament. Like,
good for him.
I mean, great, but why? Like, it's like getting a physicist to come on and say like, so what do you think about gravity to a dude who sells meat? Yeah, like they're just not.
Oh, it's
like,
no, it's like. If you got a physicist to then ask the cast of The Big Bang Theory about physics,
totally. Like, so what do you think about the theory of relativity? Yeah. Like, I don't fucking know. Like,
I'm an actor. Like,
I just get the money, and leave.
Whereas this dude, I can't remember his name, but it is terrible.
It's like a SoundCloud rapper name. It's something Lil Kiev or something.
Little Kiev is probably close. Little Kev, was that it? Was it Kev? I can't remember. But yeah, is that right? Cool, I got it.
And also, the VT
Kiev's way better. It should be Little Kiev.
He's like a Russian SoundCloud rapper with like the face tattoo and like.
You know how I was gonna say, you know how we had that conversation where I was gonna become a SoundCloud hurdy-gurdy player?
Yes.
Can I be called Little Quiche?
Little Quiche is a great name for a hurdy-gurdy player.
A SoundCloud hurdy-gurdy player. That'd be great.
But the VT they played with him winning his money, he did not come off well.
No.
He was
acting like a prick.
He was acting like a complete prick. Like there was moments of like him losing games, not shaking hands.
Yeah, denying handshakes and looking really salty.
Of course I'm the best.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're
fuck you. Like
I don't know what you're trying to do by showing that.
It's trying to show that the bros that love their Madden.
But the thing was, like, the FIFA thing we watched just before we came to do this, like, that had more realism about, like...
They just seemed like some dudes who liked FIFA.
Right, so, like, I played a lot of FIFA with friends when I was younger. Like, that's what we did. Yeah. Actually, we played Pro Evo.
You played Pro Evo, yeah.
And we did a lot of that, and the way they were being in that thing was what we did. Like, it was all of this, like, kind of, like shit talking, and it was, but like in a friendly way.
That's how you should do stuff like that. Yeah, it's like how I played Street Fighter with my friends.
Presentation of that dude who won $500,000 playing Madden.
Yeah,
I don't feel like he deserved it.
I don't want to be his friend.
Yeah, I don't want any part of this dude's whole thing.
Fucking Little Kev.
Little Kev.
Don't like you, Little Kev.
No. And yes. Why is there a championship belt? Why is it not a helmet?
Yeah,
why is it not
or a gold ball or a golden trophy ball or something? Why is that a belt?
Like a top or something? Like a shoulder pads, decorative shoulder pads.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like studded, rhinestoned shoulder pads.
I'm the champ on the back.
In that impact font.
Yeah.
It's like number 69. I am the champ.
Oh man. Every year they talk about Madden, all I really hope is the one way that they would get me to care about Madden is if they came back and went, guys, this year we're doing the GIF generator again, and then left, and that's it. Like that's literally the day that Madden GIFerator came out is the most interested I've ever been in a Madden game ever.
Hours to
it was the best thing I've ever seen.
It was, and then like
take these random football players doing random poses in space and put text over it. Great! I will spend hours doing that.
We did. We spent so long making dumb gifs.
It was amazing. I miss it so
putting
much.
Fucking Evanescence lyrics on top of these guys.
Oh god, yeah, that the Kotaku article that like brought a lot of them together still makes me laugh. It's great.
It's great. I think the only thing we ever closer to that was when we found that Ditty app.
Yeah, the thing you could make things sing for you. Yeah, that was great.
Get to sing random phrases.
It was very good.
But yeah, that was EA.
That was EA.
Like we said, not a lot of huge surprises, but like I want to see the EA original stuff.
Yeah,
I'll be playing Unravel.
The stuff that was the most interesting was the indie stuff.
Yeah,
that was
for sure.
The stuff that looked pretty.
And like
cool.
I am genuinely disappointed we didn't get. I felt like we should have got more out of Anthem.
Yep.
For as much of a large push they were making in the press conference for this thing,
I feel like they should have done more.
They should have been more substantial.
I wanted a Ubisoft style gameplay with fake voiceover style. Let's go do a mission and actually show it.
I wanted them to go back to Hub and like do the loot stuff,
do a deep dive, but it didn't do that.
Don't know. Those damage numbers were real pretty though.
Yeah, they're nice damage numbers. That's true.
We'll see.
That one guy shot a lot of rockets and it had a lot of damage numbers.
A lot of rockets. So yeah, that's us. Tomorrow we are back with Microsoft first, and then Bethesda.
Yep.
After that. Mm-hmm. So that'll be our Sunday.
Yep.
We'll be doing these. These will both. I think it finishes with enough time for us to do these on Sunday. So these will both be up on Sunday.
Yeah. I think it finishes about midnight.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Cool. So we will see you tomorrow for more E3. Bye.
Bye.